What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you guys through a full day of eating. We also have a leg session. I know last video was a leg session, but probably not going to show you guys all of that. Just get a little sick montage in there. The last time I did a full day of eating, my daily has changed severely, so I just felt like it was appropriate to kind of show you guys where the diet is currently, to show you the type of foods that I'm eating to get me where I am currently. Lowest check-in was 205.3, which was yesterday. Weight is moving pretty good. Last video, I think when I checked in, I was 211 pounds. Obviously, I had mentioned that there was a lot of water retention in that video. So since then, it shedded that off. Calories have been adjusted by my coach, and the weight is moving at a good rate now. So it looks like I'm on track to be where I need to be at the end of this month to finish out this recomp phase and start official prep, hopefully in January. I think the first show that I was looking at is sometime in April. I do want to compete in February, however, so I might travel, but we'll kind of just play that by ear and see how everything goes. So yeah, just took my morning supplementation, getting my caffeine in. As you guys know, that's my morning ritual. Gonna go do my 30 minutes of fasted cardio with abs and then come back for my first meal. So I'll see you guys then. So this is the new supplement that my coaches put me on. I'm gonna have Vic blur this out and let you guys guess it down in the comments below as to what it is, but it is a crazy, crazy fat burner. So for those of you who are in the bodybuilding space, you guys know exactly what it is. All right, y'all, we just got done with fasted cardio, so I'm gonna have my first meal of the day. So I have two options here. Option one being 50 grams of whey protein, 50 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of blueberries, and dark chocolate. And option two being pretty much the same exact thing, except I'll substitute the whey protein for egg whites. And typically I do that on days where I'm a little more hungry and I want more food, more volume. Obviously, just drinking a protein shake is gonna be very light on the stomach, not really gonna satiate me as much. So it is one of those days. So I'm gonna do 50 grams of cream of rice, and then I'm also gonna pair that with 300 grams of egg whites for my protein source. And the trick with cream of rice is honestly just consistency. It's very bland. So just getting the right consistency with that is very key. My palate right now, although there's not much flavor and variety in my diet, I am very texture based right now. So I've thrown out cream of rice a couple times because I've overcooked it. Get 300 grams here. Let's see, am I gonna be able to get it on the money? 300 on the dot. Yes, sir. Gonna hit the pan, a little bit of cooking spray. I prefer to use avocado oil spray just because it has a higher cook point as opposed to olive oil. And I use a spray because obviously that's just easier to control, mandate calories, as opposed to using like a oil base out of a bottle. Get some water going for me. Cardio session today was pretty good. I typically try to stay, so for cardio targets, I try to hit that 140 beats per minute heart rate, 140 to 150. And typically that kind of equals out to about 450 to 500 calories burned. Today I hit 536. So overall it's pretty good. I mean, legs were feeling a little beat up. They have been feeling beat up for about the past 2 weeks. Just every cardio session, just try to get through it. But honestly, nothing to complain about, nothing that I'm too worried about. It's still moving on a scale of difficulty. Everything's probably sitting about a 6 to 7 right now, kind of just given on the day. And a lot of that is dependent on how much sleep I get the night before. Your body's going to do the most recovering as you're sleeping, so I've been really trying to optimize sleep. I'll make a future video on that where I kind of go over more in depth on my supplementation. I'll show you guys what I've been doing for my sleep supplementation in that video if you guys are interested. But gonna let breakfast get going. I'll catch up with y'all when that's all done. Baby rice is not the move for me. So I asked my coach if I could just substitute that out with cream of rice. Essentially, it's the same thing, macro-wise, ingredient-wise. Just baby rice is a little more refined. And honestly, as I mentioned, I'm very big on textures and consistency. And for me, I'm just not feeling that shit. I'm talking about like trying to get it down and like wanting to spit it out. It's just like, tastes like pudding. I don't know, it's interesting. So definitely skipping out on that. I'm gonna just stick to cream of rice. It's something I enjoy, it's something I can tolerate, which is very essential when you're on prep. I mean, you're already eating foods that are kind of very ordinary, bland, and it's very repetitive, so I'd rather just stick to shit that I enjoy eating. It makes it a lot easier for me, it makes this process go a lot smoother. Now, if it comes down to like show day, like 1 week out, and that's essential, obviously I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. But since we're in a recomp phase, still have quite a bit of time before the first show. Just keep it simple, keep it basic, and just enjoy the process. So, trick with scrambled eggs, bro. Just got a low heat. Stir consistently. There's one thing I hate right now, and that's when I don't pay attention to my eggs and it comes out like, I don't know, like an omelet almost. It's not really the vibe, to be honest. For the most part, seasoning wise on this, I keep it very bland. I'm gonna add couple cracks of Himalayan pink salt. That's about it. So that's done right there. All right, y'all, that's gonna be meal number 1. 50 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of blueberries, 10 grams of dark chocolate, and 300 grams of egg whites. I'll put the macros on the screen for those who are interested. I'm gonna get this meal down. I'll see you guys at meal number 2, which is gonna be my pre-workout meal. I'm gonna train a little earlier today because me and Vic literally have to film and edit this video on the same day for the drop tomorrow. Hard work and grind, bro. It's just what it's been, and it's honestly like this whole process, start documenting my prep, has been an amazing process. It's been a very huge learning experience for me and Vic. It's the primary reason why both of us moved out here to Houston, so just very appreciative of that. But yeah, gonna get this meal down. I'll see you guys at meal number 2, and then we'll catch up for a late session at Alpha Land. All right, y'all, about to get our pre-workout meal in. It's gonna be pretty similar to the last meal that I had. Ooh, I'm running low on cream of rice. It's going to be 50 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of blueberries, 10 grams of dark chocolate, and then 2 scoops of whey protein, about 50 grams. I I usually consume this about an hour out. Alphaland is about a 30-minute drive for me, especially during this time. So I'm gonna get this made pretty quick, easy meal, nice and efficient, easy to digest, and the pumps are absolutely insane. As you guys can see, a lot of my diet is essentially the same foods, just consumed at different times throughout the day, with typically a different protein source. And that just goes back to what I mentioned earlier about efficiency and convenience. Obviously, if I was in the off season and I was bulking, I mean, honestly, the foods are still pretty simple, but there would just be a little more variation, a lot more room for different flavors, different types of food categories I'll be able to include. But since we're on prep, we're trying to get stage lean. Just keep it as simple and as basic as possible. Do what works. Old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's exactly what it is. Protein. I've been using this protein from Jack Factory for a minute. It's essentially just a very good tasting protein, blends very well. There's a bunch of different brands out there that you can use. This is the one I'm preferring right now. I think once I finish this, I'll probably try some of Raw's products out. I've tried their pre and pump, absolutely love it. So I'm pretty sure their protein powder will not disappoint. I heard the oatmeal cookie one's pretty good, so I'm gonna try that one next once I finish that. I'm gonna go ahead and smash this down. I typically like to get the whey down first just because it causes a little bit of bloating sometimes, and I don't like to have too much water bloat pre-training. So I'm gonna go ahead and smash this, get the cream of rice in, and then head to Alphaland for a leg session. I wish Bobby could eat that, but unfortunately, I'm still fat, so I can't have no crumble cookie. Haven't had no refeeds, haven't had no cheats in about 7 to 8 weeks. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm an absolute foodie. I love food, so this is something that is, at first it was very challenging, but I just have to keep in mind like what I'm trying to accomplish, what I'm trying to do, and what goals I have at hand. So I kind of just use that to just basically like overcome any type of craving or urges that I may get. Because at the end of the day, if I'm busting my ass in the gym, doing all this cardio, doing all this training, doing all this supplementation, what's the point if I'm not going to stick to the program consistently and execute it 100%? At that point, I'm just wasting my time and wasting my money on a coach, and I'm not only wasting my time, but I'm wasting his time as well. So that's just the hard truth to it. I mean, if you decide to kind of embark on this lifestyle and this journey of competitive bodybuilding, you just have to accept these certain factors, and if you can't accept those factors, then you may need to reconsider at that point in time if you really want to do this or not. So we got 10 grams on the dot. I'm going to add a couple cracks of pink Himalayan sea salt. As I'm about to go train, having some sodium in the system is going to help with pumps. And I am trying to get a crazy leg pump today. It's a very important session. Legs, I mean, every session is an important session, but leg sessions in particular are absolutely essential. As I mentioned time and time again, legs are an absolute weak point in my physique. So every single leg session I have, I need to capitalize on it as much as possible. So that comes from proper rest, proper recovery, proper nutrition, meal timing, all of the above. All right, so that's gonna be meal number 2, pre-workout meal. Typically I would have this meal later in the day, but since me and Vic are kind of on a tight schedule, gonna train a little earlier today. Macros are gonna be on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this meal out. I'll see you guys at Alpha Land. About to get our pre-workout going. I honestly haven't trained this early in a while, so it's gonna be quite nice, because typically when I train, it's in the evening time and I don't consume caffeine in the evening. So I typically just use a pump. But today, I'm gonna overdose on caffeine. I'm gonna do 2 scoops using Gorilla Mode Black Cherry. Honestly, this is like one of my go-to pre's. It's phenomenal, consistent, hits every time. Workouts are insane. The pump, also insane. Not sponsored, but if you guys need a good pre, check this out. Black Cherry is pretty good. Tiger's Blood is okay. This might be my favorite one. What we got today? We got leg press and pendulum squats. I'm definitely gonna need these to save the knees. Third meal, not really technically a meal, more of like an intra snack, whatever. There's gonna be 2 Rice Krispies, and then after the workout, I'll consume 50 grams of whey, and then I'll get home and have my post-workout meal. So I'm gonna finish this leg session out, and I'll catch up with y'all when we get back to the crib. All right, y'all, we're back from the gym. Killer ass leg session today. Is honestly one of the better leg sessions that I had. So for the post-workout meal, we have 150 grams of chicken, 1 bagel, and then we have 10 grams of ghee butter for a fat source. So the idea behind this meal is honestly just convenience. So we have a fast, highly digestible, quick protein, which chicken breast, minimal fat in it, breaks down pretty quick. And then we have our fat source to kind of just satiate us a little more, and then a fast acting carb, plain bagel, just simple carbohydrates. Post-workout, you want to be able to get the most amount of nutrients in little time possible. As if I were to eat something like a complex carbohydrate, protein source with a little more fat, that would take longer to digest. Therefore, it would take a little longer for it to replenish everything I drained during the training session. All right, y'all, that's gonna be meal number 3, 150 grams of chicken, 1 bagel, 10 grams of ghee butter. Macros will be placed at the screen. Have one more meal after this. That's gonna be the 5th and final meal of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours for the final meal. Y'all, about to get our 5th and final meal in of the day. It's gonna be, I don't usually measure this out, but it's supposed to be 150 grams of asparagus. It's just a vegetable. I'm really not tripping about the extra calories from it, as it's very minimal. So I'll probably do half the packet here, a couple cracks of sea salt on that, and then we have 150 grams of chicken breast, and this was prepped and cooked from the previous meal you guys see me eat. So that's going to be the 5th and final meal. This meal typically doesn't contain any carbohydrates, and I just do that to kind of just stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the night as I sleep. So when I wake in the morning, everything's just stabilized and where I need it to be. I'm going to go ahead and cook this up, and then me and Vic have to literally edit this video tonight. So it's going to be a long night tonight, but it's all good. Pump this video out for you guys tomorrow. Alright y'all, that's going to be the 5th and final meal. Macros will be on the screen. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope you guys gained some insight to kind of how my diet is structured, gained some useful knowledge, and just kind of to see how my diet and training and body is adapting throughout this entire process. I'm going to go ahead and knock this meal out, edit this video with Vic. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.